Hi everyone, it's Tom Panos here. I've got with me Manos and Maria Findikakis from eView. I'm so pumped because I read Manos's book on a flight about 6 months ago, and I said to myself, I'm definitely going to interview him. And Manos says he's going to have Maria with him, both directors of the business.
Yes.
For the viewers out there, can you give us the 60-second snapshot of what eView is? How many offices, and just a short version.
We started operation in November 2006, so we've been operating for 7 years now. Since then, we've grown from a team of 4 to over 100. We currently have 2 regional offices, and we've just franchised 3 new offices just this month. So it's exciting, and we've transacted 3,943 properties in those 7 years as of yesterday. So just over 1.8 billion in sales.
Beautiful. Can I ask you, in the business that you've done, what's your average price roughly?
432.
Okay, 432. And what's a little bit unique, there was a line I read that says something about we want people not... you bring it out.
In business for themselves, but not by themselves. Is that the one?
We want people in business for themselves, but not by themselves.
Exactly.
And what does that mean to you?
Well, it means that the way we look at it, if you're a salesperson out there today, it doesn't matter how you get paid, I believe you're a business owner.
Right.
If your commission structure is commission only or retainer, you're a business owner because you're working Sunday nights, Saturday nights. So we wanted individuals that wanted to go into business, not have a shop front or anything like that, but actually run their own business under our brand.
Right.
And we'll help them with all the services that we provide so that they don't have to wear all these 10 hats and worry about trust accounting and marketing and all that other things that we can do in the back end to help them.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, one would assume that a good person, even though they're in sales and they might not be principal, they are working for themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah.
So I guess as directors, what we really focus on is our agents are our customers. So we don't look at them as our employees or anything like that stuff. They're team members, but they are our customers.
They're our clients.
Right. Okay. Your time in real estate gives you a really good helicopter view of what good agents do. Most of my audience is 14,300 salespeople. Some of them are principals, but most of my audience that are watching this are salespeople. What would you say that you've noticed successful qualities of salespeople? Have you been able to say these seem to be common denominators?
They have some sort of consistency with their prospecting and keeping in touch with people. They don't do it for a few weeks and then not do it ever again. So the consistency and the structure in their business is what makes them successful. That's what I believe. Yeah.
And I liken it to their DNA, and I say there's 5 DNAs in a salesperson. It's their degree of natural attitude, their accountability, their ambition, approachability, and
accountability.
Accountability.
Okay, so gang there, you're hearing it from people that running successful business, of having lots of salespeople. The DNA, the brain tattoo, is of people that have got structure, process, that they're consistent, that they're not doing this spur of the moment behaviour, up one day, down the other, which is a little bit away from the normal salesperson, because most salespeople are generally all about emotions, aren't they, and how they feel.
Yeah.
And they do what they feel like doing, not what they should be doing.
Yes.
You know. Can I ask? You're a client of News Limited, but you also produce your own print guide.
Yes.
Every month you do 30 to 50,000 copies.
It's bi-monthly, so we do one every 2 months, and it is between the 30,000 to 50,000 that we produce.
Right.
It's called the Melbourne Preview.
Right.
And it is a new newspaper-style magazine that we distribute and produce for the team. And it's worked exceptionally well. We've delivered over 1 million copies to date. Okay,
and they're just dropped around.
We direct mail them as well to our VIPs, our landlords, our database. So
clients.
Direct mail, wrapped and mailed to those people. But obviously, our guys take them out, drop them for inspections, letterbox drop them, all that.
Into the
coffee
core
shops.
service areas.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. At what point do you think a salesperson should be putting on an assistant, a support person?
Look, again, it depends on the individual and obviously their capacity. And it's to do with volume rather than the number of the actual GCI that they bring in. Some people obviously write big GCI per transaction, and then there's others, like in our area where it's high volume but low commissions.
It also depends on the support of the office as well. Like we've got a team of 6 at our Frankston office that supports our agents in regards to putting everything on the news, doing all of their marketing, putting it up on the internet, ordering boards, all those things, all the administration is supported by the office.
Right.
So really they'll probably get a PA a little bit later, and that PA will be more of a person that generates more business rather than just admin, because we cover that in our office. So it just depends.
Right.
So looking at our structure, so if you worked on numbers, someone writing in our business at 300,000 wouldn't need a PA. Their personal income would be 200,000. Once they want to exceed the 300, we have a number of people that go over the 300 to the 500, 600. Then we recommend to put an assistant, because right up until the 300 mark, all the services, even from prospecting, were provided from the office. So we look at we're essential services.
Okay, so essentially what you're saying is that dependent on the level of support services your current business has will determine on whether you're putting in one on a 200 GCI or 400 GCI or what have you.
And if you need someone just for admin or for a sales creator.
Right.
Which is,
so
depending on the support that you're getting.
What's more important, an admin or sales creator? If someone was sitting there watching a video...
Easy question. A sales creator, without a doubt. I think
they're both important.
They're both very important, but from an office perspective, I think you could administer the administration and that support a lot better than an individual sales agent. We want to make sure our sales agents, and if you speak to all the top performers, all they're doing is listing, selling and negotiating, and obviously prospecting. They need to be out of the office. They can't be bogged down with paperwork.
Gang, to you, what does prospecting mean? Sorry, gang's a word I'll call you both. Instead of me saying Manos and Maria.
That's great.
To me,
what's prospecting?
It's all the 1%ers. I think people really discount what all the 1%ers mean, and it means it's how you present yourself at the open. It's how you rock up to your listing appointment. It's how you're treating your current buyers. It's how you actually conduct yourself in the whole environment of real estate. It's how you walk into the office. It's all that. It's how, from a business perspective as well, I look at it as how you treat your suppliers. How are your suppliers your raving fans? So we're really big on, obviously, our services that we provide to our agents, and we follow through with our suppliers and making sure that they're looked after, because they're sometimes our best referrers. So prospecting is everything, and it's all those little 1%ers that add up to 100% very, very quickly.
Okay, beautiful. Your 5 best tips to people out there. What would you recommend, suggest to them if they're at the moment, struggling? What are some of the things that you would say to them to improve their business?
Be more visible.
Be more visible.
Absolutely. If I had to do it again when I first started, I would definitely just market myself a lot more. And that means everything from editorials to that you can get in the newspaper, bigger ads, just be more visible, more open for inspections, midweek opens, have that impression out in your BDA that you are the expert in that area, and just put yourself out there more. That would be number 1 for me. Again, if I had to do it again, database everyone that I met from the beginning. We're talking 12 years ago, and a lot of it, we would talk a little bit differently, and it's just leased and the buyers will come. I say to my guys now, buyers, vendors, landlords, tenants, they're all people, and just database everybody and keep in touch. If you can do that, your business will just skyrocket a lot quicker. You'll get there a lot faster.
Become an expert in the listing presentation. You need to become an expert in the listing presentation. Burning the bridge, and obviously our previous speaker spoke about that, but burning the bridge and making sure that you're not quitting every second day, because I found that obviously going through the industry, a lot of people are actually thinking about quitting. So they're not doing the activities today for the return, 12 months to 24 months.
It's a long term, isn't it?
Long term. So once you make that decision, it's a lifestyle choice, not a career, and you're going to be in it for the long haul. It's really simple to put the processes in place and actually do the activities you need to and not expect the now vendor, because you know the now vendor is actually 12 months away.
Yeah.
So it's all those things.
And training as well. We're really big on training. We do it in our office. We have 2 training sessions. Sometimes a week, definitely every Thursday. But we sent our guys out to events like this. We just try and do as much as we can, and you can never do enough.
Okay.
Never become an expert.
No.
You know?
Okay, so I'm just going to recap. There was some gold stuff there that were coming from Manos and Maria. Talked about being visible, not just, a lot of people just maybe overemphasize trying to get perfect before they get out there. Just get out there.
Yeah.
Be visible. Make it easy for people to say yes by you being out there. The other thing that you talked about is databasing, having a good stay in touch strategy, understanding that your business is the database. It's the same with an optometrist. It's the same as anyone's business.
Yeah.
It's the quality and the quantity of the data in your system is your business. Number 3, you talked about having the positioning of being considered an expert. You also talked about training, the fact that, and that's what we've been doing here today, just making sure that you do exactly what AFL teams do, and that is that they sweat in training so they don't bleed in battle. They practice during the week, so on Saturday it feels effortless. I want to talk to you about vendor paid advertising, because in many ways my life is underpinned by that. It's my living. You guys are exceptional at having brand and presence, and you've got a lot of visibility in the marketplace, and you're good at getting vendor paid marketing. What's the secrets? What's some of the stuff that you can share with the audience on getting VPA?
I think first of all, when you're in front of a vendor and you're trying to help them to get the best price for their home, you've got to believe in the strategy that you're presenting to that vendor. Yeah. So first of all, you've got to be a believer. Second of all, you can't leave anything to chance these days, or say to people, well, trust me, that's going to work. People are full of information. Yeah. You said it before, they can Google everything. We're not the gatekeepers of information anymore. So you need to provide them with facts. And what we've done, Manos has put a brilliant process in place at our office. It's called the Sold Story. Yeah. So we've got a system where our agents put through the pager and through an email every time they sell a property, everything about that sale. So how many days it took to sell, where the lead came from. So we collect all that information and we make it into a sold book, sold story book. We've got 50 agents, so we've got heaps of properties. We redo it every couple of weeks, don't we? So our agents, when they go out into a listing presentation, they go out with proof. So this is what's selling in the area.
This is the marketing campaign spend. The
marketing campaign, and the majority of our buyers come within 10k radius in our Frankston office anyway, where we do most of our stats. So your buyers live in the area, so they will look in the leader newspaper, they will look on the internet, they will look in all of these different mediums. So you need to be in everything to be able to attract a lot of people there, so you can get a really good price. Also,
when I was, obviously we're not listing or selling principals at the moment, but when I was out there in the field, I used to make it really, I try to use analogies, and you always say at the same time, use analogies. I used to say to a vendor, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, you could purchase this pen at either Big W or at David Jones. Where would you expect to pay more?
David Jones.
Why?
Because you know that they're dearer, it's better quality, it's better experience,
It's the same when representing your home in the marketplace. You have a choice to go with low quality or with high quality. Do you think the buyers will interpret your property as better value, as in to pay a lot more by the market?
Absolutely.
So that's the analogy that I use.
Here's another thing I've just plagiarised for my next training session, which is basically all my training sessions, taking ideas from other people's experiences. Outstanding. Yeah. You're basically improving the perceived value. You're saying, if I'm buying water, Pellegrino, at the Hilton Hotel, it's going to be expensive, because I know that's the deal. In your mind, you've got perceived value, and that's what you're doing with marketing.
The buyers coming to the property will see perceived value because of the quality marketing that you're doing. They expect to pay more.
And that's what we need to
and
create
that's-
for our vendors.
yes.
At the end of the day, our job is to get the maximum price.
Well, Mary, I would actually assume, the more I think about it, if that's the perceived value that you're creating, I think that if you're a seller, when you'd call you, you'd actually be already educated and conditioned in your mind that I'm probably going to be paying a decent amount of marketing and in fees. I'll pay more because they're David Jones.
Yeah. Also, before in your presentation, you said that the newspaper reader or buyer that's going to come through the open for inspection or inquire about the property is more your passive buyer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Right.
And I'll tell you why, and the way that I feel about it and what I deliver to my vendors at a listing presentation. When vendors are on the market and they're in the newspaper, they're buyers at the same time. So I think the hottest buyers out there right now looking are vendors on the market. So if you're not in the paper, how
Right, so what
how
you're
are you
saying
going to
is,
compete?
so what you're saying
Our
is...
hottest buyers are our vendors.
Yeah, Mrs. Byrne, there are currently
Yeah.
100 vendors advertising their property in the local leader newspaper in our community. Those current 100 vendors are
Looking
buyer market.
to move.
They're looking to purchase.
And they're serious buyers,
And
aren't
they're
they?
serious buyers. So could
So
we
I would
afford
change
to
it.
miss out one of the
Oh,
biggest...
I love that.
But could you afford to miss out on one of the biggest capture tools? And we know that the buyers will still
They're
go
ready
to
to
the
move.
internet, and the perception that the internet is bringing. And look, I'm an avid fan of the internet. I know we named our brand after the eView, the electronic view, because we know it's going that way. But ever since we've started, we've never missed a week in print media, because we know the value of print media and how it amplifies your results using the internet as well. So it's
You've got to be in everything.
You've got to be in it.
Oh, beautiful. Okay,
Yeah.
absolute gold there. That, and I'm going to change it now, Maria, specifically. I'm going back to my PowerPoint, changing the words. Print does not get the passive buyer anymore. It
Hot
gets
buyer.
the hot, serious buyer. Yes.
Because our vendors are our buyers.
Yes.
That's right.
yes.
So, and it's really easy to present to a vendor. So, Mrs. Vendor, these are your current buyers in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Do you want to miss out?
Especially in the area where people move, and I'm sure they're similar everywhere.
and-
We know our area in Frankston that they do. I mean, 3199 postcode, you can move from a $250,000 property all the way up to a $2 million property. So you can have your first home buyer, then go to your, small family home, then you get kids, you downsize again. So you can stay in that postcode throughout your life. Peninsula is beautiful. So of course the leader newspaper reaches that whole area. So
Beautiful.
you're going to be in there.
Okay, gang, as we finish off here today, I'm going to ask you, it's a great book that I read, Manos.
You did a
What was
great
the
job.
name of the book?
Building your own real estate practice.
Building your own. Did you contribute to that
No.
book? No?
Oh, she
Only the
contributed
story at the
story.
beginning. Yeah.
Because obviously I came into the industry kicking and screaming. I certainly 10 years ago when Maria came to us and said, I want my own real estate practice, I was running our hospitality business.
You didn't think much about it.
I didn't really think too much of real estate agents. I
Right.
thought they were down there with the car salesperson.
So-
But Maria was in the industry for 2 years, and then one day she rang me up, and to cut a long story short, it was basically, honey, I bought a real estate business, and that's how we entered the real estate world.
As owners, right from...
Yes, straight
No,
away.
I was working for someone for a
salesperson
year and a
for 2
half,
years,
and then we opened up a franchise with that company.
That group.
They
Stayed
gave
with that
me-
for 2 years.
They gave me the opportunity. I was very grateful, but I needed Panos to do all the trust accounting because I'm a salesperson.
Yeah.
And all the systems
Do
and
you,
all
Maria,
that.
you sell now?
I don't anymore.
Right.
Leewood calls me the lister of people, so
Right.
I'm a recruitment
A recruiter.
officer for our
Okay,
for our agency.
we spoke about this morning about every job's got two jobs.
Yes.
A salesperson, one of the jobs is to find sellers, but
Yes.
a business owner, one of their jobs, apart from managing the business,
find good
is
people.
to find good people
That's
to
right.
actually have in the business. And that's what you do now.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, well listen gang, I've covered everything I want to cover. I just want to thank you. You do a great contribution, nice, fresh, ethical approach to real estate. Thank you for sharing so many good tips and insights, particularly the ones on marketing. I really enjoyed them.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
pleasure.
really appreciate it.
Maria,
Great.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Panos.
Thanks, Tom.